Yo, what is up everyone? Daimien Kamiya here, Omni King. Welcome friends, foes, members of the Omni Council to Kingdoms of Amalur. Guys, sorry, I do apologize about being a bit delayed here. Had just a minor setback going for it. I also have food in the microwave, so I'll have to step away to go get that. But I'm super excited about Kingdoms of Amalur because, as I've mentioned many times on stream, it is one of my top favorite games. Top 3. And for whatever reason, what was the reason? I was talking to a coworker today about it, where the plan was crosscode Final Fantasy 12 and Amalur. But while I was playing 12, I was playing some other side games. When pre-sequel ended, well, Wonderlands had just come out, and I ended up moving Wonderlands into the primary slot. So when 12 finished, I replaced it with other secondary games. So that's why I never got to Amalur until now. Technically, this is still the secondary slot, because the secondary slot primary slot's not opened up until the Ys games are done. And by the way, just discovered there's a leak now that's basically confirming on July 7th, they're going to be teasing Ys 10. So there's the 35th anniversary. And I think it's the 21st or 22nd of this month that is the official 35th anniversary of the Ys franchise, when Ys 1 came out in Japan. So I'm pumped for it. Though I doubt it'll come out this year. And if it does, it'll probably be like winter. Maybe late November. Something like that. I got plenty of time to finish the remaining Ys games that I'm playing. With that said, I want to add, while I get the game here running, I also want to point out, so Kingdoms of Amalur is a little bit of a special game here for me. In the idea, I had actually made a second audio chat for this one. So Kingdoms of Amalur suffers from the same issue Final Fantasy 12 did, where there's audio you can control, and then there's cutscenes you can't. And my solution to this when playing it casually was to basically modify my own volume. Oops. It was to modify my own volume. And then leave everything at full, so that way when I come back to the game, so that way when so the audio doesn't change, and when the cutscenes when the cutscenes trigger, it's not going to deafen anyone, because everything's at full. So I didn't have to keep adjusting the audio sliders for the games. I made an entirely new audio track just for Kingdoms of Amalur. I should have done this for Final Fantasy 12 too, in all honesty, because it had the exact same problem, but I didn't. But yeah, so before I get into a bit more discussion on this playthrough, I want to just mention to everyone as well, when I hit 100 subscribers, when I hit 100, if I can hit 150 within the next few days, which is seemingly more unlikely at this point, instead of doing one 24-hour Skyrim stream, I will indeed do 2 24-hour Skyrim streams. Though that is, unless someone like mass subscribes to my channel, that it's going to be very unlikely. So we will see. But let's switch right over to the game here. So there is audio going, you just can't, like, it's really hard because some of the audio gets like really quiet. But then the audio can get really loud. So I launched this last night to make my thumbnail, so I was able to adjust the options a bit. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go to new game. So Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning. When the re-release came out, they added in very hard mode. I've never played very hard mode. I've only ever played hard mode. However, even hard mode can get very easy because of one particular mechanic in this game, and it's blacksmithing. Because I plan to go for 100% achievements in this game, which it's not that hard to do. I will, one of the requirements is to craft something mastercraft with blacksmithing, so I will do that, but I want it understood that I won't use that piece of equipment, but I will show it off, because I want everyone to understand the power of blacksmithing, even to but a small degree, and why I'm not using it. Because I can explain it now, but you kind of have to see the power of blacksmithing. Because I was explaining it to some co-workers in class that there's one vendor that sells 2 components that give plus 14% damage, and most things use those 2 components. So you end up with like, and there's no cap to damage, so it all just stacks. So you end up with like 5 pieces of armor and 2 weapons, all with plus 28% damage, right? And it's just massive. Like, even if you were to round that down to 25%, that's still 175% damage bonus. And then you can get components that give you damage resistance, which also doesn't have a cap. So you're effectively fighting. So you're effectively dealing with. So you can effectively become invincible too. And on top of that, just generally speaking, so this game, like many games, can have legendary loot and armor sets. But the thing is, blacksmithing is so powerful, I never get to use them. I never do. Because why would I, when the armor I craft can make me near invincible? Why do and uber powerful? Why do I need a set bonus that gives me plus 2 to lock picking when I can already max lock picking anyways, and I can just give myself like 30% more damage and, 14% damage resistance on everything, right? So very hard is the hardest difficulty we can play. I'm going to tell you right now, some of the hardest hitting enemies in hard can near one-shot you. So it's going to be tricky, for sure. Now, the other aspect of this game too. So originally I was going to call this no crafting, but I didn't want to do that because there's 3 crafting traits in this game: blacksmith, alchemy, and sagecraft. Blacksmith is the reason things are overpowered. 100%. Because you can create that gear with those components. I debated whether sagecraft was a problem, but realized that it wasn't. So sagecraft is the idea of crafting gems. And you can insert you can either, with the right traits, you can use gems to craft, or you can use them in the process of crafting gear, or you can slot them into gear that has slots, which you can just find or buy or whatever. However, to be more careful on that front, I wanted to ensure that I wanted to balance it out. I wanted to make sure sage crafting wouldn't be a problem, and it's not really a problem, especially since I can generally buy. I'm pretty sure you can even just buy the gems you can craft anyway. So, like, even the strongest ones. So, there's really no point in wasting my time if I can just get them anyway, right? Like, you can't buy the armor and weapons you can craft. You can't. It's like there's a huge scaling difference between power. And then alchemy. So, alchemy is something I'm actually really excited about with this playthrough. Because prior to this, the only thing I use alchemy for, because alchemy is making potions, right? It's to, and since you can buy health potions, like, and just like games like Skyrim and Oblivion, eventually money just is no object anymore. You own everything you need, so you just sell everything else off, and you just have money burning a hole in your pocket. So you go to merchants and you just buy like the top 2 strongest health potions, and have a few stacks of those, and you're golden. Because your damage resistance is so high anyways, what the hell does it matter, right? You're barely ever going to use them. I get to the point that in my playthroughs, my damage resistance is so high, I carry like 2 stacks of health potions because I almost don't even need them. Like that's just how utterly broken blacksmithing is. But alchemy, I would use alchemy to craft invisibility potions because they are also broken. Basically, imagine taking an invisibility potion in a game like Skyrim, but it doesn't break on stealth. It doesn't break on, or no, shouldn't say stealth. It doesn't break on attacking. It doesn't break on talking. It doesn't break on pickpocketing. It doesn't break on anything. So basically, there's certain quests that require you to steal or to pickpocket, and the moment you drink one of those, no one sees you anymore. So you can just use them to do that. So it's really, really powerful tool. However, potions have a lot more assets than just that. One of which is like boosting damage resistance, or temporarily boosting damage resistance, or temporarily boosting attack, or fire damage, or all these types of things. There's like a plethora of potions in the game that can do these types of things. And again, I never use potions. Why? Because armor and weapons are... Because blacksmithing is so powerful, you don't need to craft anything. Why do I need to add 25% fire damage when I already one-shot the enemy anyway? Right? So it's like, there's literally no reason behind any of it. So yeah, so it's just no blacksmithing. So I can only use armor and weapons that I find or that I can buy. Interestingly enough, though, as mentioned, this is one of my favorite games, so I know quite a bit about this game. And one thing to point out is all vendors in Kingdoms of Amalur are static. So what that means, for anyone that might not understand what I mean by that, static and dynamic. So when you play a game like Skyrim or Oblivion, all vendors in those games are dynamic, meaning their stock constantly changes, it rotates, it's semi-random every time you talk to them. Like, they may be guaranteed to have lockpicks, which is stupid when you consider the fact that you can then use it to break into their place, but there's a random number of how many lockpicks they may have. Right, so it's this kind of aspect that you're keeping. However, in Kingdoms of Amalur, every vendor will always have the same things. So I could play the game 20 times, and every vendor will have the same things all 20 times. So that's where things really, really kick off. I'm gonna click very hard in just a small second. My food should be done in the microwave, so I'm just gonna quickly go fetch it, and I'll be right back. Right. Cheese cantaloni. It's got to cool off a little bit, so let it sit in front of me until it's stone cold, because that's probably around the time I'll remember I have it. All right, so we're going to play very hard, as mentioned, and there's going to be character customization. Let's get to enjoying the game here.
From the beginning, We were wrong, and only now, well into the second decade of the conflict, have we begun to understand the mistakes we have made. We lived in harmony among the Fae, in a world awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen what might be born on this rising tide. What force might awaken. A force powerful enough to twist even the eternal and immutable Fae folk. But Gadflow, the new king of the Winter Court, surprised us all. Singular among his people, he was all that other Fae were not. Aggressive, ambitious, visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen, terrible and deadly. Gadflow and his followers, the Tuatha Deon, believed that a new god was to be born in the east, beneath Gadflow's crystalline fortress of Amathen. In the name of that god, they marched to war against the young races of Amalur. Against a mortal army, no matter the power of their god, we might have been victorious. But the Fae are creatures of magic, not bound by the laws of life and death. Such Tuatha fallen on the battlefield would soon rise again, for the Fae do not know death as we do. How could we stand against such a force? For 10 years the war raged. For 10 years the armies of Men and Alpha fought and died. But as our numbers dwindled, we knew that it was only a matter of time. Our fate had been written. At least, that is what we believed. Until you died.
Yeah, so it's been a long time since I've watched these cutscenes. Pretty much the first time I played the game, and that was it.
This one is Alpha, could even be a Jotun. Always a surprise, eh, Gran?
Eyes on the job, boy. Don't matter what it is. Dead's dead. And be thankful for that. All we've seen. Go on and pull back the sheet, though. It'll need to be in our report, one way or the other.
Alright. So I already know what I'm doing here. Like my end goal here for what character I'm creating. Now this actually coincides with what I do in games like this. So in games like Skyrim and stuff, like it's weird. I only create female characters. I don't know why. But in like if it was an MMO, I only play female if I'm gender locked. Because just generally otherwise I feel like I'm lying. So I'm going to pick Varani. Okay, so these are bonuses. They mean almost next to nothing. And they're slightly different based off the race you pick. Like, personally, to me, I think one of the more beneficial ones, like some of these, like that one would be good if you're wanting to play a mage. There's a good rogue one, but they're almost all like non-important. Like there's physical damage and armor. But I want this one, so we're going to run... I think the physical damage and armor is probably best. Alright, so we're just going to pick this preset. Is there a rounder face option? Alright. I'm going to have to try and do my best here on this. What that one might do. Skin tone. Go with that one. So I have a picture up here. When I'm done character creating I'm going to screen cap it, and I will pause for a moment because I want to tweet it out. Eye color. So I need like an orangey yellow. Now, my one grievance I have with character creation in this game is that I guess I'll have to go yellow. Is that there's no actual like color names, so sometimes you really kind of have to like lean in and look to see like what colors are. So I guess we'll run yellow. I'm just gonna quickly jump ahead here to hair. So it's gonna have to be that hair color. Gonna be like a soft orange if one exists. It's either that, yeah, it's that one. Eyebrow color is just gonna be the same. Actually, an eyebrow color is black. Eyeshadow. I don't see any eyeshadow. Look here. Oh wait, that's what eyeshadow is. Okay, well I need black then. Oh god. And the thing is, not all the colors match either, so I can't even necessarily compare it to the same slider as something else. Which one is black? Like that's not black. That's like dark. That's like indigo or something. That'll just have to do. Lipstick. I'm kind of trying to recreate like a cartoon character here, so it's a bit hard here. Like technically the eyeshadow isn't actually eyeshadow, it's the jewelry. I don't see any, so no. No to tattoo, no. Just reminding myself with what's here as options, because there might be, no. I was gonna be like, there might be something that may work out well. Where I remember more options than this.
One of the Barani women. Must have followed a mercenary band over. Maybe one of them herself. Doesn't much matter now. Fared pretty well, though. All right, then. Make sure it goes into the report. You know he'll want all the details.
Amazing how well the body held up. Better than I've seen.
I'm just glad it's not moving. Must have been born under a lucky star, this one.
Anything else we need?
Unless you'd like to name her, I think we're done. Put her with the others.
Just double checking the spelling. Yep. Alright, so I'll just have to get a screen cap of the face. I forgot to take one during character customization.
Better luck next time.
Alright, so let me pause. I guess that's the best I'm gonna get in terms of looking at my character. So I guess I kind of screwed that up. Unless I can, let me try something here. Might be able to get away with this. Because I have live replay. Perfect. Save as. Sorry about this, guys. I want to make sure that this is done. I want to tweet this out right away. So I got to go into Photoshop for this. All right, close that. B. And then I took a screenshot. Name. Move that into here. Delete this. Delete that. This will be only but a moment. I've gotten better at my photoshopping skills, even if I am using Adobe Photoshop from, you know. Leave that. We'll do that there. Move this in. Apply. Now I just need to crop it. There we go. Save as. Side. One second. Sorry, I'm responding to something here. All right. There's that. Now I just need to get on to Twitter really quick. I apologize again for the delay here. But this is very crucially important to me because I'm very looking forward to the reaction I'm going to get Probably not today. Probably tomorrow. What are you meowing at, Keith? I really don't like it when you're behind my chair because, like, when you're behind my chair, I'm afraid I'm gonna roll over you at the wheels of my chair. Amalur. Here. Had limited options in customization, but I think it gets the point across. What do you think at Minhart? And then, of course, the standard hashtags I use on all of my tweets. By the way, this was always the plan for beginning. All right. And I will tweet. All right. Now we can actually play the game. All right. So we got dodge. We'll have access to weapons. Got infinite sprint. Secrecy is still important in our work, requiring specialized disposal of our unfortunate failures. Piling remains have become a concern in the lower caverns, so incinerator has been added to deal with the waste. This should make disposal work slightly less horrible, although you should avoid drinking water from downstream of the ash dumps, hardly fitting rest for the poor things, but if any consolation, these weren't their original bodies in the first place. For Magus Hughes. I can take that too. All right. There's always this guy over here. He just has a little bit of money on him. All right. You can activate the incinerator. Doesn't really do anything outside of dropping a body in there. And here you get your first weapon. So this whole area is basically tutorial. I can instantly equip that there by using compare and then select. So now I have a long sword.
They're all over. Run!
Scatter, children of dust!
So interestingly enough about this game is almost everything you break will give you money. I'm so used to oh god. Do I have block yet? I do not. Oh yeah, there's block. I'm so used to Ys where dodge and sprint are the same button. So money won't really be much of an issue in this playthrough because I don't need to salvage anything. Because making components is next to pointless. Can you leave, Keith? Like you're just snooping around my room. There's no jumping in this game, so you have to find jump down ledges. So because I'm playing on the hard difficulty, enemies are automatically going to be higher leveled than me. You can tell by the color of their name. Oh god. If I was playing on normal, their names would be probably just white. White is on par Green is a bit easy. Hey, red! Gray means you're over-leveled for them. Yellow, and then it goes yellow, orange, and red in terms of things.
Thank you. If you hadn't come along, wait. I've seen you before. On the slab. You were dead. It worked. By the tome, it worked. You're alive.
What? Yeah. There's one achievement. I don't know if I'm gonna actually get it or not. I may have to. Yeah. Red. Yeah. So red is the strongest outside of magenta, but magenta is really weird. So magenta, like you could argue magenta is stronger than red, but it almost never scales. Like it's always the same enemies that are magenta, and usually they just kind of signify as like mini bosses, like trolls, right? Trolls will never have like I think they may have a gray or a white name, but they'll never have green, yellow or yellow, orange. I think actually it might have orange. I think I might have seen a few orange trolls. But generally I never see red troll names. I only ever see magenta troll names. But there are red trolls, like trolls with like red gems in their body, if that makes you feel any better. There are stronger trolls.
You died. I don't know how or even where, but your body was remade in the Well of Souls, and somehow it worked. The well restored your soul to your body, and it worked. We must get you to Professor Hughes right away. He'll have questions for you.
So generally how this dialogue works, it's very similar to many games people have probably played. Anything on the left is usually not something... So anything on the right will continue the conversation. It's just, it's an action RPG. It's similar to, like, you could say similar to, like, Skyrim, Oblivion. Very fun game. It's a lot more about, like, action-style combat rather than just, like, first-person sword swinging. I'm doing a challenge where I'm playing on the hardest difficulty, very hard, with no blacksmith, because blacksmithing makes everything overpowered, and I will show that much later in the game, because I need to do that for an achievement, and I'm going 100% in on this game. So anything on the left is just additional information. So if I say, who are these attackers?
You don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemies of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they are here. Hughes may have the answer to that as well. You must stay alive and reach him.
Right, and anytime you do an information prompt, it'll always lead you back to the choice at hand. So my options are who is Hughes, and I have some questions myself.
Professor Formorus Hughes. The Well of Souls is his life's work. The Tuatha are coming into the lower levels. If we hurry, we should be able to beat them to the top. Take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes. Now, let's get going!
So here I can get more information on the quest at hand, and I can just get additional information based off of whatever. This is standard dialogue when you talk to any NPC in the game.
He'll be in his study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there. And safe. Oh my, you don't know? Perhaps the process damaged your memory. They are the Tuatha Deon, the enemy of all the young races. We've never seen them this far inland. Not even during the invasion. I don't know why they're here. I wish I could tell you more. You showed no signs of life when we removed your new body from the well's waters. We just put it in the furnace room with the others. We would have never done that if we knew. The Well of Souls is just ahead. You'll see. And it works. It restored you to life. There will be plenty of time to explain later. We've got to get going. Let me get this.
Right. So there's a few chests in this area. I just want to quickly get... So the tutorial basically just kind of runs through everything for you. Gives you a few weapons to try out. And then you got a few chests here. So this is getting light armor. And you'll notice all light armor... Every piece of light armor gives critical damage bonuses. I killed them both here. Why don't... Did I loot the armor and not equip it? Yeah. Alright. Oh.
This is what they're after. Our greatest invention. The Well of Souls.
There's gonna be a cutscene in here.
War. An end to death.
So, like, if you want the actual plot, Red, so the real kind of, like, plot behind this game is that, so you are the Fateless one. You are somehow revived from the dead, and you will eventually discover that you are, for some reason, unbound by fate in a world that is literally driven to the T by fate. And everywhere you walk, you leave an aftershock of what is affected. Other than that, it's just your standard. It's a pretty standard open world action RPG. So this is heavy armor. Heavy armor will always give you melee block efficiency. I'm gonna junk it because I don't really care for it. You got lockpicks. Lockpicking in this game is actually super easy, like no joke. As long as you just have a lot of lockpicks, you'll never have an issue with lockpicking. So here's some gloves. Here's a shield.
Wait. Do you hear something?
Shields, no matter what weapon you equip, you get to equip the shield. So this is just going to teach me, if you time your block correctly, you can parry. And parrying can work very akin to, like, Arkham Asylum, where you'll effectively lock onto the parry of whoever is attacking you. So it's really efficient.
You're going to need more than just that sword. That one had a bow. Get it?
Yeah, so this is teaching you about the bow. So the bow is a very unique weapon. It's the only one that has ammunition tied to it. And it's the only weapon in the game that has more than one or two traits tied to it. It's a very peculiar weapon.
Shoot them before they see us. Go.
And if you use up the quiver will automatically refresh after a given amount of time. And it auto locks onto any enemy that it sees. There's potential with bow, but you got to use a lot of traits to unlock bow, or to unlock that potential. Pretty much prior to the Fatesworn update, or the Fatesworn DLC, the only class that could really fully take advantage of bow was the finesse class. So if we open up this and we go to, I can't actually show you. Oh yeah, here in abilities here. You got might, which is your warrior tree, finesse, which is your rogue tree, and sorcery, which is your mage tree. because of the nature of how points go, you can either invest into all one or split amongst 2 or 3 of them. But only, so prior to Fatesworn, the level cap was 40, which gave you 123 points to spend in total. And because you require 50 points to get this high, like, you could probably get it if you split between 2, but you wouldn't get very far. If you split between all 3, though, you are never making it to the top tree. And Scattershot is considered basically the best trait for bow. So not getting to it can be pretty devastating. But now the level cap is 50, so that gives you an additional 30 points to spend, which is more than enough to even allow that class to reach this high. Something up. Alright, so there's going to be something else over here. Switching between Ys in this game. Well, maybe not Ys. Like, it's weird. I say Ys, but it's actually been a while since I've used a controller with Ys. So, but still. So now it's teaching you about stealth. So they actually want you to switch to... Well, every weapon does technically have stealth tied to it. Like, it can do, like, stealth damage. Only Dagger and Feyblade get even more additional bonuses, and Dagger is even better because it can actually get kill animations. Feyblade doesn't get them, it just gets the damage bonus.
More up ahead. If you can sneak up on them with your daggers, you should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
So let's sneak. So when you sneak, obviously there's the eye that... Now, unlike some games, the eye is actually above the enemy head and will fill if you're detected. And if you have a dagger, you get that prompt, which is... Now, I don't believe that's necessarily an insta-kill, but it does a ridiculous amount of damage. You'll insta-kill most enemies. Now, this one's tricky because there's actually no way to stealth kill both of them. You can stealth kill one, but you have to fight the other mano-a-mano. Because the other guy's going to see you upon the stealth kill. But it's not hard because of how this knockbacking works in this game. Like, I basically have the guy stun locked. He can't do anything.
Cave blossoms only respond in the presence of magic.
So this is showing you abilities, like magic and all abilities basically count within the same category. It's just magic is generally elemental, while everything else is not. Hughes, per your request, we finally got the spider problem under control. Claude will try to take credit for an efficient cleansing with his Petrolians, but I feel he overstates this case and fails to recognize the value that my own quick thinking and scholarly work provided to a successful operation. While overseeing the spider purge, I noticed those guards who were affected by spider venom exhibiting stiffness of joints and tightening of skin, symptoms which suggest possible solution for the internal cohesion problems of some of the well's creations. I would have studied these symptoms in more depth at the time, but the guards willingly and flagrantly disobeyed my orders to delay application of antitoxins. As such, I request that we capture some of these spiders in order to harvest their venom and for future testing. Furthermore, I trust that these insubordinate guards will be punished immediately. For my steadfast pursuit of knowledge I require no medal nor promotion. All I ask is that you please reassign me off the subject of disposal detail. Garrett. Yeah, so the people that are here are gnomes, so you can't actually play as a gnome. A gnome is a mortal race. They're just basically short people. They're kind of like dwarves in some games, you know, like But in this game, they're basically like really powerful, or like not like they're known for being very intelligent and diligent workers, right? Like basically, you know, they don't take vacation day. They have great ideas. Everything they do involves politics in some way, shape, or form. And now we're coming across the magic gear, which so robes means that there is no leg armor. It's top and bottom, as per many games. However, magic's bonus is that it gives mana regeneration, and it enhances the speed of mana regeneration. Now, I don't need that either. I definitely want to keep track of my potions, though. Normally, I disregard potions quite a bit. That is actually a white enemy, so that would make it an ally. Interesting. I generally disregard and sell potions, but that's because potions are never as overpowered as blacksmithing. But in this game, potions may act... In this playthrough, because I can't blacksmith, potions may prove to be of a very, very powerful use to me. And that's going to be the gloves, which I don't need. Oh, I hit the ground. Most techniques have cooldowns.
Maybe you can use that staff to burn a path through.
Yeah, so there's three. So basically with each ability tree, there's 3 weapons. So for finesse, it's Feyblade, dagger, and bow. For might, it's longsword, greatsword, and hammer. And for sorcery, it's chakram, staff, and scepter. By the way, scepter, worst weapon in the game, because it actually actively uses MP to do damage. And I might as well just use abilities at that point. It's an awful weapon. I'm not gonna lie. Chakram is one of my favorite weapons in the game, as it also does half physical and half magic damage, while staff is pure magic damage. And they're just kind of showing these things off. To be perfectly honest, for me, Feyblade and dagger don't have much of a difference going for them. Though dagger is generally more single target, while Feyblade is more multi-target. Bow, as I mentioned, has just multiple trait trees, and it's the only ranged weapon that that isn't magic. And then here, greatsword, longsword, and hammer. There's not really much difference to say about them. If you've used one in any game, you've used them in all games. You know, it's just basic sword. You know, it's not as fast as a dagger, but not as strong as a greatsword. And then you got greatsword, which is just really strong, but it's not as fast as the hammer. And then you have the weaponry traits here, which just unlock moves for the classes. Or unlock moves that can have access to the weapons. They're fairly simple to use, and some can be even very important. So this is also teaching you that if you come across spiderweb walls, you need fire to get through them. It's the only time it's the only element you actually need in your arsenal. And as I mentioned, Scepter is the only weapon that actually uses MP. Staff, chakram, anything else, no other weapon actually uses MP. So this entire combo I'm doing right here is not costing me anything. And here's a spider chest here that's just gonna have more stuff in it that I can keep. I'm trying to be very wary. Like, I know this is the tutorial, but I really don't want to take any unnecessary damage. As you can see in the bottom corner, I hit the hotkeys for potions. One small thing to point out, though, that in this game, when it comes to certain... There's the way the game explains certain things that may make people not realize something. And it really only comes down to one instance that I can think of off the top of my head. And that's elemental and magic. So the thing is... Every magic in this game is elemental magic. There is no non-elemental magic. It's either fire, shock, or ice. That's it. There's no non-elemental. So magic resistance, magic resistance and elemental resistance are the same thing. And the same goes for damage. Magic damage and elemental damage, same thing. There's gems later in the game that give 20% to fire, shock, and ice. But then there's also one that just gives 20% to magic, and that's the exact same thing. But it's even worse because you might as well just go 15% damage and benefit everything you have on you rather than...
You're not one of them. It's yet alive.
So I kind of interrupted that dialogue, but so this is just giving you the stuff that you may have missed in the tunnel. It's always good to pick it up just for free selling. I also recommend picking it up if it contains anything you're currently using, because this game does have repairable stuff. You do have a health bar on your things. So you want to be careful in ensuring that things don't break, because they will then do very much less damage. Or just have generally a less effect.
That's why mages prefer it.
Also, if you put anything into junk, junk has its own menu.
This is where we part ways. Take whatever you want from this armory. We might have a few things that would fit you. Just make sure you get to choose. We can hold off the Tuatha here.
So, this persuasion, I have no hope of getting. It's a 5%. I'm going to go for it either way. If you do, he just gives you a few more potions. And there is one race in the game that starts with +2 to persuasion. They get this at a 95% success chance. You know what? I think I'm not going to do it. Like, you don't... You know...
There's nothing more I can do except to stay here and slow down the...
There's no consequence to failing a persuasion.
Check the chests. We might have a few things that...
At least in some cases.
I'll see you on the outside.
There's an achievement for persuading, like, a set amount of people. So, But with the Fatesworn DLC, I should easily have that. Because by the time I get to that DLC, I'll have max persuasion. Which pretty much just guarantees I can persuade almost anyone. Just beating the main game and all side quests will get you to 37. Not counting experience potions or anything. And I say that as someone that has beaten the game multiple times. 37 every single time.
You've made it, and look at you. Even with all you've been through. The Tuatha, your return from the dead. Please forgive me. You must be terribly confused by all of this. I am Fomerus Hughes, and this is my laboratory at Alistar. Everything you see here is dedicated to one thing, the Well of Souls, the pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time, there's so much we might learn from one another.
So with the quest dialogue, if it's an arrow, it's going to continue the quest dialogue. If it's a question mark, it's just, you know, asking for additional information. It won't change anything.
I wish I could tell you more, but your death is a mystery to me as well. It seems that your memory died with your body. You see, the well is designed to capture the soul of someone recently deceased, recreating their physical form within its waters. Simple, really. Your rebirth is the first we might truly call a success. There have been others, but the results weren't quite right.
Oh, Fae.
The Fae are complicated. I could write 10 volumes on the effects of immortality on their pseudo-feudal court system alone. You don't know. They're called the Tuatha. They were once Fae folk of the Winter Court, but they've been twisted by their Lord Gadflow. But how could they have found us out here? We're miles away from the front lines. The waters never touched Dalentarth. And why attack the well?
So one thing he talks about in the Fae, they talked about this in the beginning, but just to dumb it down for anyone that may have missed it, the way, so the younger races are basically non-Fae. So Fae are basically elves. So there's two types of Fae. The basically wild Fae and then regular Fae. So the regular Fae, all the humanoids. So the people we're killing right now, the Tuatha, they're Fae. But more or less most wild creatures are also Fae. So trolls, trolls, fairies, boggarts, like these are all Fae. They're all wild, like these all any magical wild creature. So the mortal races are anything that is not Fae, and that means that when they die, they're gone for good. The Fae, on the other hand, when they die, they literally will reform. You'll find out more about this with the House of Ballads side quest line, where basically the House of Ballads is more or less just a group of individuals where they live a tale that is effectively a storybook tale. And when they die, they relive it every time. They literally repeat the cycle. And that's pretty much what a Fae's life is. To die, to reform, and to live the same life.
The Tuatha are a radical splinter of the Fae. Insane, bloodthirsty, and immortal. Even when they die, their essence returns home to be reborn later. They hate mortals like you and me, and want us wiped off the face of Amalur. I can only imagine how much they hate the idea of mortals being reborn.
Like, that's why in the opening dialogue they said the army was losing, was because it's like you got 10,000 men against 2,000 Fae. But when when the Fae are chopping you down, and every time you cut one down, it takes maybe a year and they're back, right? Like, it doesn't, I don't think the game ever actually explicitly says how long it takes for a Fae to reform. Hey, Mario Bros, welcome.
Too much to explain right now.
Oh, sorry.
I don't believe they know about you. Not yet. What's important is getting you out of here safely. You're the only achieved here. I may not be able to save the well, but I can ensure that its only success is safe.
Where are we?
Feylands, miles away from the front lines. I thought we were safe enough from the war, but it seems some of the Tuatha have found their way here anyway.
I have more questions.
Please, we must hurry. Good.
I'm ready.
Good. We can't waste time.
I'll stay and fight.
Absolutely not. I've got my notes, but it's most important that you stay safe. It's just that you're... Wait. Fascinating. Simply astounding. I'm not certain what's caused it, but somehow... yes, as I was saying, I'm not sure what... Perhaps I should go see. Sir! Mr. Hughes! The Tuatha have breached the lab! That inside the...
I kind of forgot he died.
follow the path to the town of Gorhart. Find Agath. He's a friend, and he may be able to help. No matter what else, stay alive!
Just 1 second. Got a reply here. There we go. All right. So actually, what I want to do is I want to re-equip the daggers. So I'm going to equip them to... I'm going to get rid of the bow. The bow can be really powerful late game. Like, I didn't use the bow, and then once I got, like, really late game, I did use the bow. And, oh my god, like, it becomes, like, tedium to not use the bow. Because, like, especially with how powerful blacksmithing is, you effectively can just pull back and one-shot. 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 I want to make these fights as easy as I can. Because the next fight's going to be hell. So you're not alerted until the eye fills up. Alright, that's it. I also apologize if anyone gets annoyed with my, like, if I sound like I'm a bit a know-it-all-ish about this game. Like, I was the same with Crosscode and I was the same with Final Fantasy XII. When I have a game I really love and enjoy, I'm passionate to share what I've learned about it. And it may come across like I'm very know-it-all-ish about the game, but that's just how I am about games. Alright, so we got 2 Tuatha and the Troll. So this is kind of like the boss of the tutorial, but it's also kind of like a mini-boss type enemy. Oh god. That is why I need to be careful around the Troll. It almost one-shot me. And the Troll will have that charging attack. If that hits me, I'm dead. And very hard, that took out 90% of my health at full health. If... Oh, God. Okay. Something happened there that saved me, but... Trolls, I think, heavily resist magic, in all honesty, so... But I want to keep my distance, so I'm just going to keep running this. You can end up getting into a burn phase on trolls. Once they take enough damage, they'll, the guy will, like, basically bend down and just allow you to beat the crap out of him for a small bit of time. Ouch. There he is. Oh, no. There's the burn phase. Oh, no. Where's the burn phase? This fight is so tedious, I'm telling you. Like, you have, like, this really, really crappy set of gear. Even, like, the first stuff you find off of just random enemies is better than the crap you get in this dungeon. And you have to fight a troll with it. Even in normal, this fight takes forever. Oh, I also heavily recommend to not guard or parry a troll. Always dodge. You don't have any stamina, so there's nothing to stop you from spam dodging. But I just recommend do not try to block the blow, just avoid it. Oh god. That was so stupid of me. I was already in the animation of the spell before I, Oh god, come on. I got one potion left. I need to... Oh, that staff's almost gone, too. I need to change weapons around here. Alright. I switch to daggers. I switch to bow here. There, he's in the stun phase. Wow, he recovered from that fast. Ouch. Well, yeah, but it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, Cleric. I have to charge the bow. I'm really just using the bow to get some cheap damage in. I don't want to risk charging it against a troll. Because I have one potion left, and if, dead. So it's gonna auto-save me. Thankfully, the autosave is right before the room. I'm going to start with the bow and dagger this time. But I highly recommend getting rid of the Tuatha first while avoiding the troll. No cheap tactics in this, by the way. There's nowhere in this room you can hide from the troll. Without a jump, it's like incredibly difficult to do that. God damn it. Oh my god. Come on. Okay, Tuatha are gone. And when the troll charges, he doesn't necessarily always go straight. He can... Oh, come on! He can curve. Very slightly. Like, basically enough that if he's running from far enough away, a dodge will not save you. You have to dodge twice. Yeah, that's a bit annoying, too. Keep in mind, though, Cleric, I am playing on very hard. This actually isn't as difficult on normal. It's just tedious. It's a fight that takes forever. But, like... The enemies die... The enemies have less health on normal, so they die faster. Oh, come on. Get him into the stun phase! Come on! Yes! Stun phase. Oh, did I chain him into the stun phase again? Eat lightning. When my cooldown's gone, I'm gonna... Oh, God. Eat it again. This, in my personal opinion, is one of the hardest fights in the game. Because you're not geared for it. You're fighting one of the... Like, in all honesty, in my personal opinion, trolls are one of the hardest enemy types in the game. No question about that. One of the hardest enemy types in the game. And you're fighting it with tutorial equipment. You don't even get to choose what you have. You just have crappy, like, white gear. Die. And then this is the blessings of Kingdoms of Amalur. Reckoning mode. I like how I spent all that time on that fight and I got a ring that gave me +5 health. So this is going to level me up. You automatically level to 2 once you leave. There's no possible way to hit level 2 prior to that. Reborn achievement gotten. So level up. So this is the skills menu. So the skills menu, alchemy is for potion. So there's 2 aspects to every skill. So you have the symbols and you have the blanks. Anything that has the little eye in it means it's a skill you already own. Due to my trait or due to my race, I have +1 to mercantile, +2 to lockpicking. Every class will have +1 to something and +1 to 2 things and +2 to 1 thing. So I have detect hidden 1, mercantile 1, and lockpicking 2. So the every square buffs 1 thing in a trait line. So for alchemy, it always increases the chance to successfully harvest regents when you go up to like a plant or something. So the higher it gets, the more likely I am to successfully harvest stuff. A blank will only provide that bonus. Symbols, though, are what you're really aiming for. What symbols do is they provide bonuses to... they provide actual bonuses. So for alchemy, it's a failed experiment now results in an unstable potion. So instead of getting nothing, you get a potion that has an effect, like a random effect. And this one allows you to craft potions with 3 ingredients. This one's with 4 ingredients. And this one literally unlocks all recipes in the game so you don't have to discover them. Right, so I can put my +1 into anywhere. However, I do not want to put it into lockpicking. There are trainers in this game, and the only way to max things is to go to these trainers, and they cost money. However, while you can respec, I try to do this without respecking at all, just to avoid annoyances. So I literally will stop myself at +2 on everything until I can go see the merchants. So to me, the most important skills in the game are outside of blacksmithing, which I'm not going to use. So I'll end up investing points into here, but it's not going to be important off the bat anyway, because obviously I don't care to use it. So it'll be the last minute thing I put points into. But to me personally, the traits you really want are detect hidden and mercantile. So mercantile allows you to buy things for cheaper and sell them for more. So that's going to be very important. Persuasion is pretty good for just general stuff. like getting persuasion checks and conversations. You want to have up to Dispel 4, because it gets rid of dark sigils, which basically, when you're trying to dispel, which is a magical form of lockpicking, basically creates these things that can effectively blow up if you hit one. Lockpicking is just a thing that's just, you know, passively improves. You want to get to at least Detect Hidden 5, because that gets you access to secret doors. Beyond that, there's nothing else that's really significant per se. Detect Hidden 5, like, all of these are good. Like, that shows enemies on the minimap. That shows hidden treasures on the minimap. That shows the direction enemies are facing on the minimap. That allows you to disarm traps. That allows you to see hidden doors. That allows you to see traps on the minimap. That allows you to disarm traps to get salvage components. And that allows you to find lore stones and all treasures on the minimap, which is very useful for 100%ing. Because there is an achievement for finding, technically not all the lore stones, but like 100 and something of them. However many are in the base game. But the DLCs also have lore stones, and the game just recognizes it as a total of lore stones, unless the re-release fix that. But I'm gonna go into this one, the Detect Hidden 2, so I can get those hidden treasures, because that'll help me get a little bit more money by finding additional chests. Then I'm gonna try and I'm gonna get one into Mercantile, and then I'm just gonna try and upgrade other things around here. So we're gonna confirm here. So I actually already have to, well, I don't technically have to respec, because everything that there's a point into is going to keep a point into it, but I'd rather start with my original +3 being somewhere I'd like. But I'm going to put a point into Skillful Defense, because I want to get Hardy Constitution. It is very important to get Hardy Constitution, because that'll give you bonus health and elemental resistances. Here, I actually want to point into Shadow Flare, because it gives me a very powerful ability. And then here, I don't really... No problem, Neko. It's alright. Not everyone knows, right? So it's perfectly fine. It's water under the bridge. All right, so I'm trying to, I can't, like, so I'm going to play the class of Universalist, which specializes in all 3 trees, and that's mostly because as I don't have blacksmithing, I don't really have the greatest level of control over what the next strongest weapon is going to be. So I want to make sure that I keep weapons. I try to invest into all weapon masteries so that I can have access to each of them. But thankfully this game's going to give me a huge bonus in but a moment. So let me go to, some items don't allow you to throw them into junk right away, but you can do it later like that. So you can talk to some of these guys to find out more about what happened.
Use more of you. Did they really have a troll?
Frank Rock thing, yeah.
That what found us, but if they had a troll, it couldn't have been an accident. Fate was kind to collapse that doorway behind you, or they would have chased us into the glade.
So you can just find more about more stuff there. Personally, I don't like, in games like this, when I try to let the dialogue play, it eventually bores me in the end, so I don't really want to go through that as much as possible. But I might read some of it, as I've already been doing. So these little ripples in the water are chests in the water. Ooh, Squire. Oh, 5 more health. Let's go. So Shadow Prisms. I'm actually going to try and use these this time. So what they are is they're basically distraction flares. I've never really used them, but you basically put one down and it draws enemy attention. You can use that to get stealth kills. Chakrams! Oh. Oh. Alright, there's a chest down here. Then there's going to be more chests that I want to check out. But I got to be very careful. Those chests, believe it or not, are guarded by rats. And you think, oh, rats. And, well, there's a lot of them. And this is very hard, so I don't expect sympathy. I'm going to actually save. Oh, I guess I was at level 0 in the tutorial. Interesting. Oh, I'm poisoned. Okay, 2 dead. I've died to this on normal, just to give you a perspective of how unfortunate this circumstance can go. Dead. And that is why I love Chakram. So yeah, so there's various chests here. I'm just gonna add that to junk. I don't need it. All the weapons I literally just picked up are gonna be next to useless in a moment. So, oh, I apologize for that. It's a force of habit. Because the last time I played this game, I was playing the Fatesworn DLC in the fall, and so this is dispelling. On the harder difficulties, those things will appear that I mentioned that you want to get rid of. Oh, see, there I don't have the stat requirement to equip it. I'm actually going to equip that over the health. Now, things don't... Oh, saved a screenshot. Things don't automatically get dumped into garbage, so you just got to make into your junk. So the reason behind junk is that you can literally just go to a vendor, press a button, and it sells everything in your junk menu. Kind of like putting a discard marker in the Borderlands games. Oh, that was absolutely worth the lockpick. Thank you, game. It's just much easier to do in this game than it is in Borderlands. I keep saying I really wish Borderlands allowed you to automatically mark something as discard on pickup. So there are shrines around the game. These shrines provide the similar bonuses to like those perks that I could start the game with. They're just temporary. There's a little event over here. Bears can also be pretty fierce, but not as deadly as trolls, but they are still very bulky. Most often, though, you will not fight more than one bear at a time. Unless you're in a very, very poor predicament.
I remember you. You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here? No, I had no idea anything like that would happen. The Well of Souls is bigger than one gnome's pet project. My employer pays for information about its progress. I just send the reports to make some money on the side. I never wanted anyone to get hurt.
It's like I got food and I'm just chopping it up here. I was waiting for it to cool down and then I got into the game, so obviously it was going to wait until it got like stone cold. Might have literally just eat it out of the freezer at that point. Tis the way. So he has a persuasion. He just gives you more money.
I promise you, if I knew who it was, I'd tell you. Sharing research is one thing, but academic sabotage is a crime.
So I'm not going to win that. So I'm just going to kill him.
But why?
Come at me. Die. Die. So there's a little dungeon over here. I'm not going to go in it because there's really no reason to, but I may go in it, but I won't do anything in it. I don't want to risk fighting the kobolds there. Not yet anyway. Oh, I'm out of healing potions. I am out of healing. Oh, fuck off. Wolves are not that bad because you can predict them. They have one attack. Wolves have one attack. That's it. One attack. And, but when there's multiple wolves, that's when the hell starts. So I gotta go fight that bear again and kill the dude because, you know. Oh my god, come on. I might just have to let the guy go this time, because I don't really want to fool around. Just get out of here. Oh, and he gives me a little bit of money. I guess that's more beneficial, because I got nothing off his corpse. If you manage to persuade him, you get like 2k. Yeah, so I don't care about discovering the location per se. And that doesn't matter. I just don't have the means of actually doing anything here. I just want to discover it. There's literally nothing in there. It's just additional loot and potentially experience. Oh my god. Run, 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 run. The wolves will follow you to high goddamn heaven, and it annoys the hell out of me.
You've come from the tower, haven't you? Name's Agarth. Maybe you can help an old fate weaver, eh?
The Fate Weaver.
Look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things. Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
What makes you think he's dead?
Told me that the Well of Souls would work, but Hughes' success would come on the day of his death. He took it pretty well, honestly, although we did a lot of drinking after that.
So if he gives you help, you get some potions, but again, I'm not gonna win that.
You're the one.
It's okay, I was dead too.
Then that means it all makes sense now. The cards this morning. I drew the Gravedigger, the Running Man, and the Beast. Prepare yourself. They're coming.
I'm really happy the wolf is running away. So this is basically here to explain about the fate mode. The thing we use to kill the troll. And by the way, you do not need that to kill the troll every single time. So this massively enhances your damage, as well as makes everyone move in slow motion. So for small enemies, you can basically stun a bunch of them down, and they'll get into that kneeling phase. Might as well get the wolf in on this. Oh, wolf died. Alright, and then you do this. So every enemy has a unique finisher. And every enemy that was tied to that also died in the process.
What? How? What are you? The threads of fate. I've seen them before, but I've never seen anyone manipulate them like that. You just changed how the world was supposed to work. How did you do that?
I don't know, I just did.
Fate is the will of the gods. No mortal should be able to change it. How is that even possible? Come here. I'm going to do a reading. You might be able to change the threads, but fate will still have a plan for you. I promise not to tell you if I see your death.
You always see death?
Some people paint landscapes. Other people write poetry. I peer into the weave of fate's tapestry and see people's deaths.
This why Hughes sent me?
That would be my guess. He was an academic, but he had a proper respect for fate's plan, unlike most gnomes.
Fine, show me my fate.
Relax. This is what fate weavers do. I'll be seeing your place in the pattern of destiny. Who you are, what you've done, where your path takes you. Or, at least, I should be. You're real, right? I swear I haven't had that much.
I'm real, you must be drunk.
But still, I've never seen someone whose fate was just missing. Not even when I was drunk as the king of ballads. This doesn't make sense. All mortal creatures have a place in the pattern. You should have one too, dead or not. If this is true, and I'm not saying I believe it, then your path is yours to determine.
So this is where you pick your class. So your options are Seeker, which... So basically, there's 7 class options. Might is the pure warrior. So the top tier is Warlord. There are few warlords in the history of Amalur, and they were all respected and feared as the primal embodiments of conflict itself. This destiny allows you to endure any and all attacks that lay waste to those who dare oppose you. Each of them has a little bit of a spurge, but I'm only going to read the final ones. So Warlord's mechanic is that they get a huge buff to melee damage, to block efficiency, to stun duration, to chant, and they just gain a flat 20% chance to stun. And they get the trait Last Stand. So when you're about to be killed, you will automatically resurrect with 20% health. And you will drain, but that 20% will drain to 0 until you kill an enemy. So basically it gives you a fight for your life. So that is might. If you only put your points into might, you will become a warlord. If you only put your points into finesse, you become a Nightblade. At this level of proficiency, the Nightblade's deadly arts become confused in the popular mind with sorcery. Bellin smiles upon you as you assassinate your targets with ease. Impossibly fast, deadly, and untouchable, your craft assumes the seamless mystery of a black art. So their mechanic is that they get bonus damage to ranged attacks, so they benefit heavily from using bow. And they gain bonus crit chance, damage resistance while dodging, and piercing damage. Every bladed weapon in the game, I think except for Chakram, so basically, no, yeah, every bladed weapon. So dagger, bow, so it's dagger, bow, Feyblade, longsword, and greatsword. All have piercing damage on them by default. Though it's more prevalent on thief weapons, which is why the Nightblade benefits from that bonus. So they have assassination. So after, so they have this evasion chance. So they have a chance, 11% chance to just avoid a hit. When that evasion triggers, they have a guaranteed 300% damage critical hit. So it can be very powerful. And that's if you go all finesse. Sorcery. If you go all sorcery, you become the Archmage. The Archmage is unrivaled as the greatest spellcaster of Amalur. With his destiny, you rain fire from the heavens down upon your enemies with ease and control the elements with a mere thought. Your mastery of the arcane is so potent that echoes of fate rise from the corpses of your fallen enemies to aid you in combat. So they get elemental damage. As I was talking about before, elemental damage, magic damage, it's all one and the same. Because all spells in this game are elemental. They gain a reduction on mana cost. That does not just apply to spells. It applies to any and all skills. They gain an increase to their mana regen, so their gear can enhance it even further. The duration of all duration-based spells increases by 25%. They gain blink, and not just blink, so their dodge becomes like a short-range teleport. And this one in particular does ice damage if an enemy is nearby. And then they have Echoes of Fate, where it's a chance to spawn a Fate Echo ally per kill. Then now you're getting the mixed ones. So Finesse and Sorcery. This was the first class I ever played. Shadowcaster. With this destiny, you are an Adrat magic skirmisher. Success are gracefully raining eldritch violence upon your foes. Your very attacks deal deep and appalling wounds swiftly. Without risking yourself at close quarters, enemies die before they can profane your personal space. So this one's elemental damage, piercing. It's kind of a mix of the two. However, the bottom three is where we're looking. So Dread, guaranteed critical hit against enemies that are panicked. How do you panic an enemy? You set them on fire. If they get hit by a burn status, they will panic. So they also gain a blink too. Their blink will inflict poison if an enemy gets hit, and critical hits also restore mana, which is really nice. And then you have Might and Sorcery. So this is Champion. As a champion, you are a destructive force of vengeance, a pure conduit of martial energy. You are able to refocus all manner of attack to turn the corpses of your enemies into weapons themselves. Those who strike against you seldom survive to do so a second time. So this is the tank of the game. Elemental resistance, melee attack damage, total armor increase. They get a non-elemental blink. Harmonic overload. When they kill chance to produce an elemental projectile on every kill. And 75% of the damage you take is received as mana. So, however, like, remember how I said blacksmithing is overpowered? That's why I feel like champion's not the greatest, because you can negate all damage on you. You can cap damage resistance to 100 and take nothing. So you basically don't get any mana back. So, like, to me, I feel like this is a very poor class, because they also don't get any magic bonuses. It uses half sorcery, half might, but you don't benefit from magic. You benefit from resistances, which you can get just on armor alone. So that's why I've personally considered champion to not be the greatest class. But to each their own, in all honesty. Might and finesse. This one is where it gets confusing. So you get Blade Master. Having become one with your weapons, you are capable of killing most enemies within seconds. Those who survive longer only serve to fuel your relentless onslaught. Either way, against you, their reckoning is at hand. So you gain bonuses to melee and range, to crit, to piercing damage, bonus damage while stealthed, and you get Cutthroat. Plus 15% physical damage, 1% chance to steal health, and Gold Drop. Gold Drops is 20% of damage for 5 seconds when striking a fallen enemy. In all honesty, this class is super fun. I don't think I've beaten the game as this class, but I've made it pretty far in. Super fun. If you're only using like the weapons I said with piercing damage, they can do so much because it's all there. It's all tied to this weapon. Bow, sword, longsword, greatsword, dagger, Feyblade, it's all there. Personally, I recommend running dagger and then running whatever other weapon you choose, just because dagger will benefit from that stealth damage bonus more than any other weapon. I've literally hit 1,000,000 damage with stealth attacks, like utilizing the bonuses of blacksmithing. Then finally, you get the final class, Universalist. The Universalist is an expert at all forms of combat with a mastery over all manner of weapon. You are a rare legend of prowess in finesse, might, and sorcery. Few are your equal in one of these specialties, and there are none who can compare in all of them. So you get bonuses to all 3 traits, melee, ranged, and magic. Equipment requirements drop by 25%, plus 3 to all skills. Remember that skill menu I showed? Blacksmithing, alchemy, all that? Plus 3 to everything. It's super overpowered. I'm not gonna lie. Just a flat 12% damage resistance, plus 10% chance to crit. And Mastery of Arms unlocks all weapon mastery abilities. So I am going to click Seeker, because that's the beginning of that one. I'm going to confirm it. And I will show you what that means. So, in a second here. So what do you see?
See the threads around you, but they're shifting, changing so rapidly, I can't make sense of them. Normally the threads would guide my hand to the cards, and I'd use those cards to see your pattern in the weave. But it just didn't happen. They wouldn't focus. So either there's something wrong with me, and there isn't, or there's something very wrong with you.
You're terrible
Damn
at
it,
this.
it's the truth. At least, I think it is. The world is changing. You might be a sign of that. Or maybe the cause. I've never had a reason to doubt my own readings, but we should consult with Arden. He's not a friend, but he's got a good eye for the tapestry. I'll meet you at his home to the east. I'm going to see if I can be of any help to the wounded at the tower.
So one thing I would like to mention, as a form of respect, Agarth here is a main character in this game. He's he's like a very important side character to you as the main character. When Fatesworn came out, I noticed his voice sounded different. That is because in Fatesworn, his voice actor changed. His voice actor in the Fatesworn DLC is Neil Kaplan. And I wondered, why did Neil have to take this role? Well, sadly, John Segan, or Segan, however it's pronounced, the original voice actor for Agarth for the main game, sadly passed away in 2017. So I just wanted to mention that because and you will see as you continue to follow this playthrough with me, he indeed did a phenomenal job with Agarth. Agarth is Agarth is one of my favorite characters in this game, and he wouldn't be without the way John had voiced this character. So I just want to give a small thank you to John for doing such a great job with this role, and to Neil for, you can tell it's someone different, but I do believe Neil did still a great job reprising the role of someone that sadly could not reprise it themselves. You know, with that said, we'll
Once I was Agarth the Unyielding, the blade of Avgrum. I wrestled the Colossus priestess and declined knighthood by the High King of the Fae. I was a hero of men, but that wasn't enough for me. I joined the Fate Weavers, hoping to find a way to conquer destiny itself. Turns out fate is the one thing I couldn't fight. The Fate Weavers were once a great, unified order of sages from all the mortal races. We foretold the destinies of kings and gods. But that power takes a toll. Nobody likes bad news, and all the news in the world is getting worse. The order splintered long ago. Now the old traditions are all but lost, and all I foretell is the fate of my beer.
Yuri, welcome to the stream. Glad to see ya. Right. Goodbye. Jack of all trades. That's an achievement you get for just locking into one of the Universalist trait lines. So just so these weapon mastery traits, as I mentioned, that Universalist perk will just give you them. So you don't have to invest points in them anymore. So you can end up taking the points out of them and respec later when you get that. Sadly, I have to get to level 37 to get, or minimum 36 to get that. Alright. I need potions, so I'm just gonna run forward here. Yeah, I'm not gonna find a whole lot of regents until alchemy levels. Stage 1 alchemy is gonna get me like nothing. This is a lore stone right here. Yo, I can start Dead Man Kill. I won't though.
All the songs in halls of lore, their echoes none more grand than Olain's many feats of might, the pure and lady of the light. She is a knight of golden knot. She is the cure seeker, the conscience of the summer fae. She is the heart of spring, of day.
And if you want to keep track of your lore stones, they're right here. When you collect all the lore stones in an area, you get a bonus. It's one of the reasons why I've kind of considered that there's favoritism towards Feyblades. 6% damage. And there's other things that increase Feyblade damage. There's a Twist of Fate too. I'll discuss Twist of Fates later when I get one. What the hell is this? Tell me a joke. The hell is this? Something they added in the remake? He's not even telling me a joke. Come on. What a disappointment.
Warden can't work when you're crowding so close. Go back to your business. Go on.
I don't care what you race. It's a tragedy whenever anyone's savage like this. Just look at the poor creature. She's been beaten to the brink of death. The Fae may be strange, but they certainly don't deserve this.
What happened here?
She was attacked with some manner of short blade, likely a dagger, although there's no way I can be sure. People simply stood by as she called for help. No one lifted a finger. Can you imagine? It's shameful to treat another in such a way, even if she is a Fae. I don't know whether we possess the knowledge to treat such a wound. Frankly, I don't even know if I could save a mortal with such grievous wounds. It's difficult to say. We've been plagued by the Red Legion for days, but it's not their way to go after the Fae in the area. They like their targets mortal. In case you haven't heard, there have been some Tuatha sighting in the woods to the west, so that's also a possibility. It's unlikely, though.
I like to help.
We're the only one. With all the troubles we've suffered in this village, people are weary of adversity. They'd rather just ignore it. I'm going to suggest something a bit untraditional. There's a Fae named Eri. She spends her days up on the hill overlooking the village. Seek her wisdom. I would do it, but I'm a coward. That's the truth. Perhaps a Fae will know how to heal a Fae. If not, then we're back where we started. Bye now.
Alright, so there's a few things I need to do really quick. So I'm going to go in here first.
Welcome to Goreheart, the last settlement before the Feylands. How can I fill your pack today?
I'm going to shop and sell all my junk. 838 gold. Let's go. I need to buy the backpack, which I can't afford. I will buy 16 lockpicks, though. So very specific merchants in the game have backpacks, and it increases... Each one increases capacity by 10. So, as I've mentioned before, shops are static in what they sell. So, I can always come back to this vendor to get that thing. Hell, I can come back 2 weeks from now and still be able to buy back all this stuff I just sold.
Come see me again.
This is, so this is the forge. I will not be using this outside of one achievement. And then you got the repair person. So this is the person you talk to when you want to fix things. You can, it costs money, of course. I'm not going to do it. And there's a very, very good reason as to why I'm not going to do it. I am not going to do it because of... Because of inventory weapons. By the way, this game continues my complaint that it has a hand-to-hand attack animation, but nothing to buff it. So hand-to-hand combat is garbage in this game. Alright. I'm gonna sell all this. I'm actually, you know what? Don't judge me for this. I know what I'm doing.
Yes, what do you need? Come see me again.
Oh, Streaker. I got an achievement for that. Anyway, what I am doing is I'm trying to clear up inventory space for this. Oh wow, I got all but 3. That's actually pretty good. So now I can talk about Twists of Fate. So this is all like DLC stuff, and like pre-order stuff that when they re-released the game they just included. So Twists of Fate, when you achieve certain goals and expectations, or complete certain quest lines, you get a Twist of Fate. These just provide permanent passive bonuses to your character. in several of the in several of the side main stories, you get to choose between two different twists of fate. I will pick what is, I kind of, for this playthrough, I kind of want to pick what's going to benefit my build due to the nature of the challenge. However, I also, I might leave some up to the air, maybe allow viewers to pick if anyone's in chat when I have to pick them. There's only about three instances in the game where you get the option to pick. So so this one just gives me permanent ice and fire resistance. And this one gives me additional 2% EXP when in reckoning mode. So I picked up a lot of stuff there. All of it is legendary. So first things first, I am equipping the legendary staff. There's a staff here called the Flame. It is the strongest starting weapon. By far. The strongest. Other than that, some of these increase like reckoning mode duration, but I really don't care. Oh god, scepters. Alright, so I think this is the other weapons here. I'm gonna sell greatsword and hammer for the time being. I think I'll keep longsword for a little bit. Oh, you know what? No. So the number up in the top right corner is basically kind of like the DPS, so to speak. The higher that number, the stronger the weapon is. So considering that daggers are already much faster and they're already stronger, I don't see a reason to not keep them. So I'm actually going to run that, and then on secondary I'll run the staff. And I'll just keep the chakram in the back wing. Armor. So I don't have 3 might. So these are armor sets. So by equipping any one of them, I'm going to get pretty set bonuses. There's 2, I believe, for each item, or each stat type. Like, that one gives +2 to stealth. This one gives mana regeneration. Like, I'm just going to sell that because it's not a part of a set. I'd rather get a set bonus. Like, I feel like Shepherd's armor is probably going to be the best for early game here. Like, because I got to think, like, what's the best that's going to allow me to survive? That's the most important thing right now. And with health regen, mana regen, armor bonuses, and resistance bonuses, like, I don't care what the other bonuses to gear is. Like, that's what I want. And we got shields here. So I usually run the tower, I believe. But the truth isn't half bad either. The truth gives more elemental resistance, and it buffs magic, but and health. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sell that, sell that, sell that, sell that, and just basically sell every other piece of armor that I'm not equipping. And this will get me a lot of starting money. I think defensively speaking, that's the better one. I think I just have to run the truth. Alright, so I'm going to go into this shop. Or, no, I'll go back into this one. Because this one, I might be able to afford what I need now. I might be, yeah. Sell all, yep, 10,000. That's more than enough for the bag. Let's go. So yeah, so now I have 80 carrying capacity. So there's no weight limit. There's no weight in this game. Instead, it's just capacity. So you can hold, like, I can hold 80 items. Once I get past that, I'm screwed. So she has a quest.
Itchy. Have you noticed any blood leaking from your eye sockets? I've been noticing the symptoms everywhere. No, this situation could not be any worse. If the Red Legion is involved, then we could all be staring death in the face. What have I done?
I'm gonna go to a shop first, though. So I need to buy that potion. I'm buying it ahead of time for a quest. I am also buying a couple of these, because these will heal any form of disease I get. There's no vampirism or anything in this game, but diseases can be pretty harmful. Alright. So I got 9 healing potions. That's all I can afford.
Why ask questions when you could never understand the answers? It's clear your prowess is not with wit, but with a weapon. If you must know, something of value has been stolen. An alchemical formula that, if released, could cause untold devastation. I see its symptoms everywhere. Only my apprentice, Karth, and I knew of my work on the formula, but he's gone missing as well.
What is this formula?
It was an early version, unstable and rife with potential dangers. My hope is to develop a weapon that the Alfar can bring against our common enemy, the Tuatha. To say more would be to reveal my secrets. All I can say is that it involves lesions, goiters, and a good deal of pus.
Who's your apprentice?
Karth Hilfred. I found him one morning outside my door, picking through the ember eyes. I was impressed how well he knew his way around a plant. I've never seen one so eager to learn.
I'll help you.
I do not deserve such goodwill after what I've engineered. If disaster occurs in Odorath, it will be on my head. I'm not sure where Karth may have gone, but I knew that before he came to me, he found shelter in the ancient chambers of Agnurfar Hall, an Irathi ruin east of Gorhart. Once you've ensured Karth's safety, you must learn what's happened to my formula. When you do, destroy it. It's the only way to keep us safe.
All right.
Goodbye. Stay indoors after sundown.
So those 3 items I just got are very... Oh. I just killed that thing. Sorry, I'm used to Y being the menu. So I just got a handful of stuff here. So this one just gives me 500 experience. I'm just going to use that. So I also got a couple items here. So Compass of Fate gives me just, as long as this is in my inventory, +1 persuasion. Dowsing Rod. So as long as this is in my inventory, I can now see every single regent on the map. Doesn't mean I can farm it, but it shows me where they are. These were both DLC items. So +1 to persuasion. I'm going to move forward here. I'm going to, I said 1 point into mercantile so I can start selling stuff better. So I'm going to kind of mix match here because I'm going with what, I just want to have access to things for what I'm using. Just to get a little bit of a head start on them. So I'm going to confirm that. It'll be a little bit before I can get to the next tier, because I think the next tier is what, like 4 or 6 or something like that? 4, yeah. And that gives me +1 to all skills. I can balance it out next. I can balance it out next level. I just need to get that in now, so that dagger and staff have a little bit of a bonus to them, as well as what was the ability? Oh yeah, I think I got the hold ability. This one looks so cool, like the pose you're in. Oh, and there's no unlike a game like Skyrim, there's no default friendly fire. When the prompt exists, so when I do that, you see that little skull icon appeared in the bottom corner. If I hit up on the D-pad, I'll be given a timed duration where I can now start harming NPCs. So you don't have to risk hurting townsfolk.
She is with all of us.
All right, and then so that was and then dagger gets you this, and you can zing through multiple times too. Rika came to Gorhart to look after your kin. Rika is as wonderful as you described, yet she is a shadow. She misses you, my friend, as do we all. I'll watch over her since you cannot. I'll visit you often. This war be damned. Who would have guessed I would come to a mission and trade a prison for a closier? If only we had both escaped. Alas, the bars were too strong, the Tuatha too cruel. Your brother in arms, Mason. So there's a quest here.
To live among the lives of the mission? They look...
Welcome to St. Odwig's perpetual mission. I would invite you in, but the Order has been too trusting in the past. We try to learn from our mistakes. Although, one never knows what might be a test of faith. You have arrived just when I am in need of aid. So perhaps Mitharu is at work. We at St.
Need
Odwig
aid?
worked for years to establish a presence on this hill. It's not been without its challenges. The call of the Phalanx does not fall upon deaf ears, and many of our youngest don't have the will to resist. Take Brother Egan, for example. 2 nights ago, Egan ventured past the walls to collect firewood and never returned. We must find him before anything happens.
Why are you worried?
Earth is a savage land. Every day we must face both the beasts of the wood and the evil of wicked hearts. I fear for Brother Egan's soul. He knows nothing of the world of Fae and Alpha, trust and temptation. He is like a baby, eyes wide at the world around him.
I'll help.
Mitharu be praised. His order reigns supreme. Brother Egan was last seen northeast of here, just off the road near the Fey ruins. Please find him. Perhaps then we can welcome you into the fold with open arms. Bless you, child.
Where is the order that Mitharu has given us?
There's also one more quest I can start, which is right in here. So this guy over here, he also is a trainer. He teaches Detect Hidden,
Times are hard.
but I can't afford it right now.
Can pay if you're willing to take risks. If you have the sword and stomach for this sort of work, we could use another strong arm among the Warsworn.
Tell me about the Warsworn.
To color it with fancy words, but we're warriors for hire, the best in these lands. You'll find those who have taken the oath are held in the highest respect all over Amalur.
I'd like to join.
Head straight to Shieldring Keep and pledge your sword. Might work, but a commendation from me would carry a lot of weight. To earn it, you must do something commendable. There are two brothers, scoundrels of the Red Legion, named Osgar and Medgar Krast. Bring me proof you've dealt with them. I'll pay in coin and my good word. Right then.
So this guy basically gets the ball rolling on the Warsworn quest, which is, if you've played like Elder Scrolls, it's kind of like the Fighters Guild, kind of like the in Oblivion, or the companions, so to speak, in Skyrim. We're just gonna move on to the dungeon over here. There's nothing else to do in the town. It's just moving on. Oh my god, equipment. So I'm just gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna be getting my hands on literally anything. There's an achievement to read like 50 books, so I will be reading every book I find. I don't have to read, I just have to like open it. So these are boggarts. They resist electric. They are also weak to fire. This is what very hard is going to be like, isn't it? Really testing my trigger on the dodge button. The challenge itself is also just going to be hell too, because I can't make uber powerful stuff like once I gain access to like. Normally what I do is I just try to make do until I get to here on blacksmithing. And in best case scenario, you can get here and just use a potion to temporarily put you here. But even then, if you just get to here, you're golden, because you can now use 4 components. And then that's when the game starts to break a little bit, once you've made your first set of armor. Lore stones also continue playing through transitional zones. And that is why lockpicking is super easy. Alright. So if I pick this up.
I don't know if what the Fae say about these stones is true, but if it is, well, this is just too good to not save forever. Lystrom was out of town when Artol was visiting. Now, Lystrom doesn't know Artol, and Artol is older and strange. She could be mistaken for a fate weaver. So, when Lystrom came back to town, here was Artol the Oracular. I said to Lystrom, I hear her readings are amazing. You should go. Oh my, you should have seen it. A rooster, she said, will change into a man, and this man will become your lover. He will provide for you, and he will make you laugh, and he will make your life exciting and easier. But, and this is something you can never forget, he must never eat chicken. And once in a while, you will need to peck at things on the ground, and every morning at the break of dawn, you'll hear a loud cry from him.
I don't think I've ever paid attention to that lore stone. That's actually really funny. Most of them just kind of give like Fae-related, you know, kind of like lore information. So to get like a small joke like that is kind of funny. Oh, whoops. I'm actually going to equip that. 1 better defense. It won't affect my set bonus at all. And I get more health and mana too. Ooh, a set bonus piece. That's higher defense. +2 to finesse. I'd like to take that, but the likelihood of me actually getting that set is like basically 0. The sets that you find in chests are almost impossible to fully collect because they're actually random. Chests in the game are completely random. It's just vendors that are not.
What are you doing down here? Don't you know Agna Farhold is haunted by the spirits of the Arathi? So, are you foolish or just stupid? Oh, I see. The Twisted Gnome has found herself a champion. How delightful. Nanny always was a fool. So immersed in her work that she failed to see the deception before her very eyes. The Red Legion has her formula, because I gave it to them. At this very moment, they are moving crates of it eastward towards the city of Rathir, where they will fetch a high price. Poor Nanny. So trusting, so pathetic. Of course she can never learn of my ruse, can she? I'm sorry. I have no choice.
Oh, come on, Trap. The archers are really gonna get to me here. Eat dust! Bleed! They actually didn't do as much damage as I thought they were going to do. I think I healed once, but the following attacks didn't do a whole lot. So now I need to destroy all the crates. Yeah, so I'm using these like DLC style weapons. It's not technically against the rules because the rule I'm setting for myself is I just can't blacksmith anything. It doesn't matter what I get or how I get it. Like, I don't plan to cheat, obviously. There's no real need to cheat. I just really want to see, like, I want to try the hardest difficulty, which is very hard. But I actually want to experience the difficulty. Like, in normal and hard, yes, the games start out different. Hard is harder than normal, don't get me wrong. But it's very easy to pretty much override the difficulty once you can craft your own weapons and armor. Once you can do that, there's no point. Brownies. Can you not? yeah, like there's gonna be no cheating in this. Like I don't even know how to cheat in this. Like I don't know any exploits or anything. I just know that blacksmithing armor is really overpowered. I just want to try and experience the game. It's like there's two reasons. Number one is I really want to see like if I don't make myself overpowered, like how is the game like really challenging? Because like I can literally 3-shot the final boss without even being the strongest I can be. I can 3-shot the final boss. Like it's actually broken with like how that works. It's almost kind of disgusting with how easy it is to do that. So I really want to see like how hard can this game get. And then the other thing is just generally set bonuses. I never get to use set bonuses because the set bonuses just aren't as good as what you can make. At the very least give Skyrim some credit on the fact that they didn't use set bonuses because you can already make overpowered equipment in that game. But Skyrim also had caps too.
But you can accept the strangest fact that you were wrong. Yes, but that and this endless vacuity is horrible. The ancient ones were here. They delivered themselves into the world. The time-worn cycle turns with ages. The seasons drift along the stream. They wait for the past. The future brings the forming storm. This is no place for a home, for anyone.
In Skyrim, there's nothing you can do that can cap, like, ever, no matter how high you go with, like, defensive stuff. It always caps at 85. You can't block any more than 85% damage. Unless you use the magic absorption and the necromage glitch. Alright. Nothing there. Oh, wrong side. Yeah, the staff I picked out of the chest. I don't know why, but it's just crazy strong compared to everything else. Crazy strong. It's like double the damage of everything else. Like, and it's a slow weapon, don't get me wrong. But like, even the other slow weapons, like hammer, which is even slower than staff, aren't even like, are still like probably, I think about like 10 damage lower than this staff. It's just because of the nature of fire. If you were to choose between the 3 elements to put like on a weapon, fire will inherently always have a higher damage number. Because it takes into account the DOT. And fire's DOT is higher than lightning, which is higher than frost. So fire will always have a higher number than the other two. And lightning will have a higher damage than frost, but lower than... Oh. Well, that's interesting. I did not expect to find a staff stronger already. And it has a slot in it, too. Which is actually, like, really scary. So the only catch is I lose physical damage. I'm fine with that, though. So it's now just a pure fire weapon. Alright. Gonna be a bear up here with some Bulgarts. Oh, no bear? Would you like fries with that? What? I gotta see. What was that achievement? Land 100 complete attack chains. Why? Why would that be called would you like fries with that? What a weird name for an achievement, especially that kind of achievement. Okay, well that was a bad move. Why did I use that? Yeah, there is an achievement I need to try to get at some point. I need to defeat an enemy that is red, has a red name.
I have a secret to tell you. I am not sad. When I was a girl, my father used to tell me that when you grow old with someone, you tie your fates together and create a pattern that is part yours and part theirs. My father said that this is why when an old person dies, their partner is never far behind. But I do not feel that way. I feel free.
Makes me wonder if she had a good home life. Yeah, fucking wolves. One wolf is easy. Any more than that is a pain in the ass. Alright, and what is this? Eerie.
May your hollow gods keep you mortal. I am called Airy. Your face is new to me. You're different from those in Gorhart. They amuse me, and I strive to learn all I can from them. Have you come to ask about the Tuatha? I can offer only what I know, and hope it will suffice.
I might as well ask her about that.
I feel them near, flitting through the western woods like shafts of shadow in the sunlight. What could have brought them here, I wonder? The Tuatha do not trouble themselves with easy prey. If they prowl these woods, it is for worthy quarry. Yes, I witnessed this crime, although I did not recognize the one who perpetrated it. It is often difficult to distinguish one mortal from another. The victim was Illuvia, but I knew her only by name. You must be hoping that I can offer advice, but I cannot. If she is meant for the Great Cycle, then so be it. However, I would be quite interested to find out whether one of my kind would benefit from one of your mortal remedies. I've always wondered. It will need to be powerful. Your delicate forms are far more sensitive than ours. In fact, it's astounding that you survive as long as you do. Farewell.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of that kind of fate. Oh. Yo, dude, you gonna tell me another joke? When did they add these things? It had to be a remaster thing. Or maybe, no, maybe it's a Fatesworn thing. I don't know, they have nothing to do with achievements, so. Because I perfected this game with Forsworn. Come at me. Let's just go in and we'll turn in that quest. So the way the game works, so this is the world map. This is the Fatesworn DLC up here. We can't access this until we beat the main story. This is the Teeth of Naros DLC, which we can access literally right now if we wanted to. And this is Dead Man Kell's DLC. You have to be at least level 10 for this, and you have to get to the city of Rathir. So this game is broken into 5 chunks, not counting the DLC maps. If you count them, then it is technically more or less it's 8. Because each DLC is literally one open map. So Denarth is all the way, it cuts here and it cuts at the Wolds here. The city of Yesa is a part of Denarth. Each region has a major city tied to it. Then you have the plains of Erithel, which is this whole region here, including the city of Rathir over there. And then you have Detir, which includes the city of Edessa. I'm pointing this out because these maps are basically all open world. Like, there's no loading zones between these. There's no loading zones between these. And there's no loading zones between any of these. Then you have the Cluricon, which is all the green areas here. And then you have Alabasta, which is this area here. This is the end game. This is where you're fighting towards. You have to do story progress before you can get to this side. So there's going to be a lot of running around, but generally what I like to do is I try to complete all the side quests available within this area before I move on to the next ones. I may run through the areas just to get places. Like, I will need to get to Rathir and Edessa for training reasons. But before I'm ready to actually do things in those areas. Also, there's no such thing as level gated achievement or level gated quests in this game. Like, all quests are available when you stumble into the area. So, at least to my knowledge. So, there's like no risk of missing out on a quest. If you don't have the quest yet, it's because you haven't unlocked, you haven't progressed enough story to find it yet. Or the quest is locked behind another quest, something like that.
You made it. Just in time, too. Give me the potion. It will help, but it's not enough. Someone must go to the Fae and explain what happened here. One small misunderstanding and we'll no longer just be strangers to the Fae. We'll be enemies.
Why is this girl important?
She's a member of the House of Ballads, the legendary court of Fae heroes. They are warriors without equal, with centuries of glory to their names. If one of their own was killed by a mortal, the House of Ballads and its king would bring a fierce vengeance upon us. Goreheart would be a ruin by day's end.
What can we do?
I'm not sure yet, but this is bad. She's Fae. Even worse, she's a knight in the House of Ballads. Fae don't kill their own, so it must have been someone in Goreheart. If the House of Ballads learns of this, the king will burn Goreheart to the ground. They see all mortals as invaders. We could go to the Warsworn and get an oath of protection, but that would require payment. We mustn't cover this up. But who do we tell?
Oh, you can go to either one. I just generally always go to the House Ballads.
My friend. You have my gratitude. I'll see to it that you're honored. Rumor says that the House of Ballads has its head.
Hey, Ayanami! Welcome!
Try to gain entrance if you can. All I know is what I learned in my youth. The heroism of King Wenson and his court of enchantments. My gran spoke of them nightly as she sat by my bedside. For all I know, the House of Ballads is nothing more than myth. But I have a feeling that it exists somewhere out in the deep mists of the Feylands. Farewell.
Oh, there's another one. Where did these... Like, this has to be, like... Like, these had to be added in with Fatesworn. Like, there's no joke about it. There's no way they were just there. I would have seen them long ago. Like, if it was the one by that tree that's tell a joke, I could probably let that one go, but I can't let go all the others I'm seeing.
Yes. What do you need?
I don't even have enough. I gotta sell stuff first.
Hello. Yes. What do you need?
There we go. I'm gonna sell that. Sell that.
Goodbye.
Right. Now I got enough money to repair stuff, though.
What do you need?
Good as new.
I'll be here.
Another achievement. Oh, and there's no over encumbered in this game. If you go over the limit through like quest rewards, you just have to get rid of more stuff. That's literally it. And you don't drop stuff in this game. So if you end up not needing, or if you end up trying to get rid of it, you have to put it into junk, and then when it's in junk, you can delete it. You can destroy it. You can't drop it on the ground. Well, actually, you might be able to. Maybe not. I might have to remember here. But where was it going with that? Kind of blanked out mid-sentence there. Oh, yeah, you can end up getting... You can upgrade... I think it's Mercantile. As you level up Mercantile, you can basically destroy loot for a fraction of the price you would sell it for. So if something sells for 10,000, you'd be able to get like 2,000 off of breaking it down. Literally, the game can get to a point, like when you're with blacksmithing involved anyways, where you can literally just do that and you'll still have more than enough money going around. Like, let me double check which one it is. Yeah. Oh, you recover 30% of an item's gold value when you destroy it. Vendors also don't have limited money either, so like you can sell as much as you want to one person and there's no issue. Miss Wolfless, we regret to inform you your husband, Camden Wolfleck, was killed in battle while serving on the walls of Melsenshire. General Tellera Alfar Army. Weird that a bandit had that, but okay. Yeah. Dude with the daggers is just standing over the tent like two kids in the playground that are waiting for the other to throw the first punch because neither of them have been in a fight before. In this case, the logic's flawed because he was literally watching me beat the crap out of his friend.
She bested Threng in combat fair. Fenian cycles kept. The exploits of this maiden's role, a burdensome and heavy. She lived among the mortal clans and bargained with their kind. Throughout the town they stood in fear of the brilliant fighter near.
I feel like I'll probably I'll complete this quest and I'll probably call it a stream. I'm super glad this guy's over here by himself because this guy's a boss. Like a mini boss. He's part of a different quest. He's a part of the Warsworn quest line. Ooh, level up. Alright, so I can't put any more into detect, hitting, lockpicking, or mercantile. So I'm going to put one into... I can put 2 into persuasion, so this will allow me to get a little bit of a head start in some dialogue choices. So I need to do 2 points into here. So I'll do 1 there. And I'm going to do 1 there. And then 1 point into sorcery. Let's just do it into that just to enhance it. I can now do Wayfarer. So the difference is 3% damage and +1 to all skills. So when I go into my skills now, everything is now has that extra highlighted green. So as far as the game's concerned, you know, detect hidden is at 3 out of 3 instead of 2. So this is going to be really nice now. Like, super nice. This allows you to get a really nice head start in some circumstances. Not a whole lot, but like it's not astronomical, but it makes you have to worry a little bit less about stats and trainers. Yeah, I want to keep repair kits, because with more health means more hits required, which means I'm going to have to repair shit more often. So having repair kits is going to be really important. You do get a notification on screen when something breaks, so it's like, it'll be like, oh, this weapon broke. Actually, there's another quest I'm gonna do. I'll do the Melan through quest line as well, or quest, not quest line, but quest. Since I'm gonna be in the neighborhood, I might as well just do it. I'd much rather have that than a ring that gives me 5 health. There's a lore stone over here, so I want to go get it. I also kind of wish that the combos were a little bit more seamless between weapons, because they're not. If I do that and then switch to staff, I'm starting the combo of staff over again. It seems pretty seamless, but I really wish it could carry on the combo, and you could also have interchanging combos.
For the rest of my life without him knowing, well then I'll deal with that. I think there's something to be said for it. I think it's noble. Yeah, I could tell someone, but that's just asking for praise. What makes it an act of kindness is that nobody knows, or at least that he doesn't know. I let him have the glory. No one has to know his arrow missed. He saved the town. He's a hero.
I don't know, this is the day and age where glory is like everything. Like, technically that's still a thing now, but it's a lot easier for people to get it and to lose it. Like, it's super easy to be the hero on Twitter and then be like a nobody the next day. Can we get this quest going now, dude?
Yes? What could a mortal vagabond need with Casmaran the Eternal, messenger of the Feyfolk? Speak! My time may be of the ages, but it is still precious. Wait, Father Dinwell sent you, didn't he? Old fool. His path to power was too plodding, and now he wishes to slow me down too. I have new friends, Fey friends. They are named Finna and Arbos, and they have sworn to share their secrets with me and to gift me with true magic. In exchange, they want an ancient treasure buried in the caverns of Waterhall Down. I'll retrieve it, eventually, as soon as I, feel like it.
Who are Fina and
They are
Arbos?
Fey twins, and they are beautiful, magical creatures. They've promised to teach me magic, to help me see the world as it really is. All they require of me is to fetch for them this relic. It's quite a bargain, believe me.
They'll die without me.
If you want to be so noble, but don't expect any of the treasure. This is my key into a powerful new future, a future full of magic and wonders. Let's go. Goodbye now.
Man, dude's running way faster than me this time. Waterhall down. There is a spell I really want to get my hands on. In abilities, it is this one, Mark of Flame. I need 2 more points before I can get access to it, but Mark of Flame is so strong. One of the strongest techniques, abilities, whatever in the game. Then I also want to get conservative casting, because that'll reduce... just 1 point is 10%. Anything above that is just an additional 1%. So I just kind of want 1 point into it. So I think next level up, I'll probably just pump all 3 points into sorcery just to get myself access to that stuff early on. I don't see anything in finesse that I really need other than just buffing Shadow Flare. And then might I really just want to get the Hardy Constitution to give myself a bit more success. And then I want to run... Like, there's certain traits here, too. Like, I'm actually kind of excited to run Adrenaline Surge. And, isn't there a technique that's like a self-revive? I guess it's sort of like this. But yeah, like I wanted to try and negate as much damage as I can possibly take. Or just benefit myself. Like, normally, Adrenaline Surge is kind of garbage because you end up with such high damage resistance that it doesn't even matter. Like, because this triggers when your health is low. When your health drops below a threshold. But, And you could get this up to 7. So it's, I think it's 100% then, or 90%, something like that. And, like, it's almost garbage because generally you're not going to run that many pluses. The highest you get it is 5. 5 out of 5, or maybe 6 out of 5. But it's just, it's super complicated when it comes down to, oh no, sorry, mixed thoughts. It's just, when you get your damage resistance high enough, it's useless because your HP is not dropping below the threshold anymore.
If we're going to press on, then I'll ask you to stay close. I have no courage to speak of. Honest. Ask Father Dinwell.
By the way, if you just entered this cave without him, he'd already be in here.
See you later.
You mind? Oh my god. Oh my god! Stop it! I have 1 potion left. Stop! I have no potions left. The next batch of stuff I sell, I definitely need potions out of it. These are sprites. Oh. Alright, 1 left. We better be. Oh, thank God I got a healing potion.
Soon I will be all powerful.
Those sprites have a really interesting nature. So they're champion sprites, and they are basically focused on an element. if a champion is near a normal sprite, that sprite will gain additional powers just by proximity. So if you're fighting a lightning, like a storm sprite, which is electric damage, all the normal sprites will now have access to an electric attack. It's actually kind of interesting. It's really clever. It's kind of like a really cool game design mechanic. Oh god. I did not have time to react to that. It's actually funny. I've seen game over screens 2 more times than I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever game overed in this game. Even on hard mode. The thing is, it's interesting. Despite playing on very hard, it still doesn't actually feel hard, if you understand what I mean. Like, it's a bit more challenging, yes, but it doesn't feel like, you know, Ys Origins boss fight hard. Oh, I didn't realize there's a loot thing here. Oh, I just realized, you know what? I think I have some health regen potions. So you notice how those chests were the same, even though I said chests are random? Thing is, chests are random on loading. So upon walking into this zone, or walking into this map, every chest on this map basically set its loot. So that's like physical 10% physical damage to heavily wounded targets. I'll take that. So speaking of these, I actually plan to farm for a legendary necklace. So purple is the color of legendary. It's the top tier stuff. It's the stuff that has interesting effects that are more unique than other weapons. So this necklace is indeed a legendary. There's a particular legendary necklace I need for my build. It's the only legendary item I need at all, as a matter of fact. So it'll be, so I need to farm for it. There's a couple locations in the game that are easy to farm for. You just gotta save in front of them. You just got to save in front of the maps, then you enter them, check every loot spot. If it's not there, you rinse and repeat. I already kind of have an idea of the gear I want to run, so... Dude, you just steal my kill? Not cool, man. I'm here to help you, and you're just gonna straight up steal my kill like that. Why am I helping you again? Remember, all it takes is just a couple swings and you're dead.
Make it.
Oh, God. Thank God I'm getting some healing potions. Wait a minute. Did the asshole not leave the cave yet? Oh, come on. Oh, no. No, he did. He'll warp to me. She's gonna talk to me.
Yes, what is this? Our little Egan has made a friend? I have a feeling this is going to be a problem. Obviously, anyone who has ever glimpsed a Fae would know that. Unlike little Egan here, your head holds more than fantasies. The Feylands are such fertile ground for games. The inhabitants are so oafish you can fill your pockets with hardly any effort. Are you going to give us what's rightfully ours, or do we need to start a new game? My brother and I are always ready to play.
So I'll have a persuasion check, and due to now being at +3 on persuasion, I could very likely succeed.
Then you'll have to pay for it with your life. You see, we have much invested in this deception. Blood, gold, not to mention the hours wasted on Egan. We may be criminals, but we're an honourable pair. We worked hard for our prize, and now we mean to have it.
So if I say this or this, it's a fight, but this will cause him to walk away.
Cursed, is it? It does look like you are well acquainted with misfortune. Keep the veil, then. There are other treasures to be had in the Feylands. Make certain our paths do not cross again, or my brother will add his mark to your scars. Let's hope this is goodbye.
So I lost. The trade-off is I didn't have to do the fight, but I lost out on the experience. Oh, I'm gonna have to re-enter the dungeon, aren't I? Because he didn't leave. And because he's who he is, he'll literally stand in place and I'm within 2 feet of him. So I gotta run through the whole thing again. A wonderful and practical use of my time. Don't know how that didn't hurt me, but okay, I'll take it. Sadly, dodging is not faster. Watch this. I'm literally going to get 2 feet of him and he'll phase from the map.
I didn't know. How could I? Before I came to Gorhart, I'd never known anyone outside my immediate family. Everything was so new, so magical. You must think me a fool. And Father Dinwell, come, let's return to the mission. I must ask forgiveness of so many. Goodbye now. Must we return to the mission? I crave adventure, magic, although all of those things are quite frightening. Perhaps it is for the best. This new world. See you later.
Are you gonna move? Because I can't complete the quest until you leave. Kingdoms of Amalur is a perfect game without any bugs of any kind whatsoever.
Must we return to the... Although all of those things are quite frightening. See you later.
Leave! I'm just gonna go see if I can turn it in. He's stuck, he's not moving.
Nice to see you.
Everyone in Gorhart is talking about the attacks. They say that the Red Legion is receding back into the shadows from whence they came. It is all thanks to you. You found the formula and destroyed it. Now, you may think you understand the impact of this act, but you truly do not. You are a friend to this village and to me, Nani Henry. Take this. It is not much, but it gives you an idea of my gratitude.
Look at that. I'm already at 19,000, which is not bad for buy 10 of those.
Farewell.
Please, 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 please. Oh, good. Going in that map, I guess, fixed it.
Has given us. I see no order in obstructing the truth. That is...
There he is.
That is what the...
Great Mitharu, Egan has returned. As for you, you have done as I asked, and we here at St. Odwig's are forever grateful. Consider this meager reward a donation to your cause. It is just one, to be sure.
Level up. Do persuasion again. I'm actually really excited about not having to worry about yeah, so I said I wanted to do sorcery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one here, one here, one here. All right. Yeah, I'm really happy about not having to blacksmith because it means I can just sell everything. I don't have to salvage anything anymore to maintain things. So I'm going to end up with money, a lot of money really early on.
Oh, I didn't see you come in. I was reading this letter and...
Which will allow me to buy training much sooner.
I never thought it would happen. They're coming. Even with everything else going on in this village, the Red Legion is coming for me.
Because training is in increments, so the minor trainings, there's two trainers for minor training, one for mid and one for master. And the cost goes up each time. So all minor trainers are about like 3,000-4,000 each, I believe. All mid trainers are about 15,000 each, and all master trainers are 30,000 each. It doesn't increase beyond that. Like it's a constant price. It's just having the money for it.
May the authority, unless
Oh,
you
oops.
mean to help me, I was not always the pious man you see before you. No, I was a scoundrel, a raider in the dreaded Red Legion, a gang of the notorious bandit Red the Dead Idward. But plunder could not sustain me. I wanted something more. Several of us faked our deaths and deserted, always knowing that Red might track us down. And now, he has. It's all here in Red's letter. He demands we satisfy the blood rite. 2 lives for 1. He'll let me go, but only if I kill the men who deserted with me. But I cannot.
There another way?
I could hand myself over to Red, but he'd have me killed. The only other choice is to kill the men who left with me. I can't do that. I'm not the man I
No
was.
problem, Cleric. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to end it right after just starting this quest here. Anyway, so you're not going to miss much.
Ugnar and Itrin will forgive me. Ugnar works in Gorhart village. Itrin haunts the ruins near Haxi, still struggling with his demons. Be on your guard. I fear they will likely come for me as well. When it's finished, take their daggers and bring them to Red Idward. He will demand proof. Take mine to start. Good luck, my friend. May Mitharu bless you. Filled the hunger I was hoping to sate with wine, women, anything and everything. The mission gives my life meaning. Farewell, my friend.
There's actually one more quest I can do really quick. That lady that was outside that was preaching about stuff. Oh, she has a quest. And it's a very simple one.
Have you come to protest the mission as well? The news has spread to every village. It's on every tongue. We are so close. St. Odwig's cannot resist much longer. And once it relents, all others will follow in its wake. The tome will be ours. Father Dinwell is denying that women can be ordained as members of the Order of Mitharu, despite scripture to the contrary. I know that they've got the proof in their reliquary, an ancient ordination tome, but they've never let me close enough to get a glance. All are welcome into Mitharu's embrace. Ha! The hypocrites!
I get the tome for you.
Any crimes on my account. Of course, if Mitharu compels you to see justice done, then I won't stand in your way.
This is super easy. So you have to steal something, but no one goes into the room you have to steal from. Literally no one. I'd pick these up, but I can't get rid of them. Take that, though. Ooh, Prismier lock. So Prismier locks are basically lock picks, but you can use them to literally just unlock the chest. There we go.
Great Mitharu, you found the ordination tome. I'd give a sack of gold to see the look on Father Dinwell's face. He will no longer be able to deny my entrance to the order. Mitharu does embrace all. Thank you. I won't need any gold as a servant of Mitharu. Take what I have. It's yours. I will remember you in my prayers.
Alright. So I'm just gonna sell off all the junk that I have. Yeah, quest rewards also bypass the
You're welcome in my shop.
There you go, 9,000.
Farewell.
Alright, so I'm gonna call it here. Let's save. We will my bad. Yeah, so I'm super excited for this game. Really, you know, like it almost feels right to be playing this game again, just to give you perspective. And the challenge, we'll see where it goes. I'm really interested because, like I said, like I've never seen a late game without, you know, uber powerful armor, so and weapons. So I'm really curious to see how the late game's gonna play out. I already know what shield I'm gonna run. I already know what armor I'm gonna get. I already know the weapons are up in the air. The weapons are whatever weapons the game wants to give me. And I already know what necklace I want and rings. I know everything but the weapons. The weapons I'm not particularly picky on because I don't know much about legendary weapons. I do know, like, by end game what weapons I want to have, as there's very particular ones I can get within the Fatesworn DLC, and they're very easy to get. And they're like one of the best in slot per se. So those will be those will definitely be important. Which is why, like, once I beat the game, I'm probably gonna push the Fatesworn DLC and just complete it outside of like the last tiny bit, because that's like end, like that's like finish off the story type end. And I want to do the other DLCs first. It's the same reason, like, I plan to go into Teeth of Naros as well. Because I can get because the Teeth of Naros, there's a twist of, so basically there's the Travelers Guild, which is like the Thieves Guild, the College, which is the Mage Guild, and the Warsworn, which is the Warriors Guild. Completing one will each get you a Twist of Fate that gives you +1 to Might, Finesse, and Sorcery compared to whatever you just beat. Teeth of Naros Twist of Fate gives you another +1 to Finesse. And then with getting a ring that gives me +1 to Might, a ring that gives me +1 to Sorcery, and the Thresh's Necklace, which will give me +1 to all three, and then an armor set that's going to give me +1 to all three as well, I automatically end up with +4 to everything, meaning I don't even have to fully max stuff to have things over cap. So if something's at if something is 4 out of something out of 4, it caps at 5 out of 4. If something is out of 5, it caps at 7 out of 5, and if it's out of 6, it caps at 8 out of 6. So what this means, like, so the ones that cap at 6, I only have to put 4 points into, and they're done. They're capped. They can't go higher than that. They'll be at 8 out of 6, and I've only put 4 points into them. It functions very similar to Borderlands 2, where you have to have a point in the trait for the plus to be applied to it. but it gets so much fun when you get to some of the plus modifiers, and then you just buy a skill and it instantly jumps to like 4 to 5 because you already have a +3 on it. So, but with that said, I got nothing else to add. So tomorrow is going to be more Yee's Memories of Celceta. I'm excited. And then after that, on Friday, it will be Tiny Tina's Wonderland, returning to our Spore Warden playthrough. And then following that, we will come back to Kingdoms of Amalur. So with that said, my name is Daimien Kamiya. I'm the Omni King, and be you friend, foe, or member of the Omni Council. I'll see you later, everyone. Bye.